Hello guys, am I audible? One second. Hello, good evening all. Okay, let's see. So first thing, as you guys know the procedure, right? Before I get things started, I always keep asking, am I audible or not? So first thing first, is everything audible? I mean, am I audible and is the board pretty much clear? Okay, that's the first thing I would want to ask. Right? So just want to know. Okay. Okay, hi Manaswi, hi Aman, how are you all, man? Okay, so far only two people have replied. I could see how many viewers. I think there are five as of now have joined. The board is not very clear, huh? Okay, let's sort that issue out, guys. Let's get it a bit down, I guess. Shall I'll enlarge the board a bit? Okay, that's a bit better, I guess. I mean, there's so much space. No, why do we have to waste space? Should not waste anything in life when it comes to that. What is exactly is the notations not clear or something like? Do I need to make space for the alphabets? I think alphabets are clear. Notations are also good, I guess. It's clear. Okay, okay, cool, cool. Right. Now I made a bit big for you guys. Okay, let's drop it down a bit too. Unfortunately, the photo I could not, the images I could not get a better one. Okay, at least a better image. So today, anyways, um what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna do the class a little differently. I thought I'll do a different approach. Usually I take two games, right? Today I could not find two good games, only one good game of this person. Okay, so yeah, it's clear now. Okay, that's great, man. Right. So sorry, one second. I'm so sorry, guys. I'll just attend this call. Hello, I'm in this YouTube session. Hello. Yeah, yeah. One second, session. Yeah, I'm in YouTube. Okay, I'll call you a little later. Yeah, join fast, okay? My YouTube session. Now, no, no, no. Come in YouTube. Come in YouTube. Okay. Bye, bye, bye. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. I got an important call. Yeah. Okay. So as I was telling, today first thing is we'll do a little bit puzzles. Okay. We'll do. So now it's complete. Okay. So today we'll do a little. So you can do the game first. You want me to do the game first or puzzles first? I think it's better if you warm things up with puzzles. Usually, puzzles, what happens is where you get warmed up pretty well, right? Because the game that I'm going to show you, right, it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's a game. I mean, I should have put the title as "The Man Who Sacrificed Everything," right? So from the what do you say title itself, you can like make out, right? I can't see the game. Wait, trust me, wait. And I don't know why only two people are there today. Usually there have I forgotten to send the link in the groups? I have sent right B1 batch and all. Why haven't people joined it today? It's taking time. People I think they've gone for tournaments, this time. Okay. Okay. Anyways, what we'll do is I think so you guys want to do game first, Okay. Fine. Fine. Okay then. What can we do then? Right? Siddharth, okay, yeah. So finally, some people will. What do you say? Okay, okay. So you'll go for the tournament later on. Okay, fine, makes sense. So there's that night batch tournament, right? Okay, yes. Hi Siddharth, how are you, man? Okay, all good. Okay, so as some people, lot of people are suggesting we need game first, and by lot I mean three, right? I don't know why all the viewers. Where are all the viewers? In which end of the world they are today? They're not come yet. I can see still six people are there. Still not everyone are talking yet. Even I would if the remaining ones I would want you guys to like come on board and tell hi Aman sir, this is me, right? Whatever your name is, right? Because you guys have logged in using your parents' account, right? And yeah, I've also put the wrong episode number. It's episode 13. right? Anyways, okay. So today's class we are going to talk about a legend named Carl Schlechter, right? So let's give a brief introduction to who Carl Schlechter is. Okay, so as you can see the photo below, right? The guy with the crazy mustache, right? If we had a little bit smaller mustache, you'd look like Hitler, right? Okay, that's one thing. Anyways, Carl Schlechter was an Austrian grandmaster. Okay, what's crazy about him is he started chess at a late age, and by late I mean 13, right? And 13, I know it doesn't seem like very late, right? But to be a world champion level caliber player, you would consider that a person who's very strong at a world, who should be a chess legend, you must expect him to start at a very young age, right? At 4, 5, 6, 7, or whatever, 8, 9, right? At most 9. 10 and above means it looks a little bit late. 10 is also fine. 13 is what I feel is a little late, right? Still, the game that I'm going to show, right? It's played 6 years later. So when he was like 19 years. So I don't know how in just 6 years one can play like this type of chess. Okay, so and this player Carl Schlechter, he did compete in the world championship against Emmanuel Lasker, and Emmanuel Lasker is the second world chess champion, right? You guys know what role he has played. He's been the world champion for like 28 years, right? And he was on the verge of beating him, I guess. Like if you guys remember Gukesh and Dingleren match, right? They also had a lot of draws, and then lastly like Gukesh won 3 and then Dingleren won 2. So this was kind of going in that style. Okay, you can say that Schlechter was, they had like 9 draws, I guess, right? And this guy is like literally known for drawing all the games. Okay, he's a king of draws for some reason. Okay, and as you can see from the title, I've put that. What do you say? I put the title. Let me check on the title. A man without style, right? So what do you mean by man without style? Means I know it might look like kind of no, a little insulting, but a man without style means usually every player has their own style of playing. Some people like Mikhail Tal, they like to sack. Some are like positional players. They want to play things slowly. They want to improve their pieces. They want to have a masterpiece, right? This guy was not like that. He was an all-rounder. He was good in like almost every area, right? When it comes to attacking, defending, whatnot, positional, right? He's a complete all-rounder. Okay, and he's also a gentleman. Okay, so that kind of sums things up about Carl Schlechter, right? So I know you guys are like awaiting the game, sir. Too much introduction, right? Too much. Oh, hi Nidvik, how are you, man? Okay, so let's get started. So in this game, Carl Schlechter was playing a guy called Facing Bernard. Okay, some strong player, I guess, but not someone who's a legend, of course, right? So would you guys believe what move he started off with? Okay, he started off with the move B4, guys. Now, how often do you guys see a move like this played in your life, right? I don't know if you guys have played tournaments at. I mean, by looking at this game, you guys might think like it's a random kid who just joined an academy, or he's just learning. He's like completely new to chess, right? That sort of move B4 is, right? So anyways, this is really an opening, but it's very dubious, guys. It's very dubious. Okay, it's some tricky opening. This type of opening shouldn't be played at classical or rapid, right? It's called the Polish opening. Yes, rightly said, Siddharth. I was about to like tell that, right? Polish opening. Wow. Never knew anyone would know this. Honestly, when I saw this move, right, I'm like, is this really an opening? Then I put it on Lichess like Polish opening. Right. Couldn't find much data from this opening, but it's pretty much dubious. It's all like tricks. Okay, some tricks and traps which I did not study. Okay, so here White normally would respond with the move e5, right? But he played e6. Okay, maybe e5. There's some no e5. There's some tricks like bishop b2, and if you play knight c6, there's b5. After the knight moves like anywhere, like let's say e7. Okay, e7, you might win the pawn, right? Or if the knight goes here, like you can kick it out with d3 and then win the pawn, right? So you'll be like forced to play some passive move like d6. So that's why maybe he did not go for e6 is what I'm assuming, because I have faced this opening. Okay. So anyways, bishop b2 is played. And what happens if you just take the pawn? Right, e6. The intention was to take the pawn, right? What happens first? First puzzle of the day. What happens if you just take the pawn, guys? Anybody in the chat? Let's see. The first puzzle of the day. This is just a warm-up puzzle, guys. Come on. Bishop into g7, right? Yeah. So, very common thing this is, right? When the bishop moves in a fianchetto situation, right? You have to be very careful, right? So, bishop into b2 and that's bye-bye to the rook, right? You wouldn't want to lose a rook in like 4 moves. That's sad, right? So, knight f6 and now we are actually threatening to win this pawn. Okay, so he plays the move a3. Okay, so again another tempo wasted. None of the pieces have come out, right? And here uh, Schlechter played a very, what do you say, he played a move c5. Okay, and the point of this move is, first thing is, if he takes, he's going to activate his bishop. The bishop wants to come to this square because why not, right? This is what the bishop's like, right? He wants to control the center. He wants to look at the Freddy f2 pawns, right? We call the f pawn as Freddy, okay? I just remembered. And also this pawn plays a role in controlling the center, right? So the move c5 is played. Okay, so White is like, okay, you want to develop your bishop? He said, nope, no development for the bishop for you, right? No developing a bishop. So as you see, White does not want him to develop his bishop, but in doing so, right? In doing so, he's wasting another move. And what I mean by wasting? When I mean by wasting, these pieces are like asking questions to Bernard, like, what about us? When are we going to come out? Right? We are the ones who are supposed to come out, buddy. You only developed him, right? And you're not even playing in the center. So the pieces are asking questions to Bernard. So let's see what he has to say about it. So in the meantime, when all the tempo is lost, he played the move d5. And now if you look at this position, black is having a knight. So white is like, okay, so what? Even I have a bishop in the long diagonal. But black is like, I have the pawns controlling the center. And you have some trash pawns lurking around the side. Right? So I am in a good situation. Right? Black is having good development. Right? So when your opponent is having good development, is it good to confront him and is it good to fight with him? Right. There's a reason why I'm going to ask you a question. Let's say I want to hear something from the chat. If your opponent is having really good lead in development, is it good to go and fight and attack him? Right? If your opponent is thirsty, he wants to attack you, right? Is it good for you to start the fight? Or is it good to play a little bit calm, slowly think of developing and then going and attacking? Or to then open up things? Come on, guys, answer. Says, where are all the people? Only 5 people are there. Still 8 people are there. Only three. Few more are yet to reply, guys. Come on. You guys are hiding under the shell. Please answer. Like, sir, Aman sir, this is me here. Hi, how are you, sir? Blah, blah. I am this student of yours or whatever. Right. Developing, right? Of course. Sir, Carl Schlechter is which color? Okay, good questions. Carl Schlechter is playing as black. Okay. Yeah, of course. You need to develop first, right? So something like knight f3. Now it's high time you develop, right? But then what white does is he plays the move d4. Okay, now if you guys can see this blue arrow, no, sorry, not blue arrow, blue question mark and a exclamatory mark, means it's a dubious move. Okay, so d4. So it's like you're attacking the pawns here and you know that there is going to be an exchange over here, right? So basically he's trying to exchange pawns in the center, and when pawns get exchanged in the center, the position gets open, right? And when you're not developed, you should not open things up, right? That's really not good, right? So opening things up kind of favors black because he's the one who's developed. Like, yeah, open it up so that I can attack you, right? Yeah. Anyways, keeping all that aside, can you guys find the best move here for white, for black? What should he play here? Bishop into g4. Okay, am I seeing things or can the bishop just teleport to g4? Okay, you mean b5, huh? Anyways, it's better to be cautious and develop and then attack. Yes. Okay. I keep tend to forgetting that people take time to type, right? It's really not an easy thing to type, right? Anyways, what's the best move here, guys? Come on, tactics, puzzles. Do you really need to solve puzzles when we have this game? A6. Okay. I wonder why you want to play A6, right? If you're making a flank move, you have to have a good reason. Queen A5, yes. Right. Queen A5, guys. King is opened. Forky, forky. Right? How can you guys forget the fork? Right? And so black is like, you know what? You just no. I want a pawn back, right? I sacrificed a pawn. Did he sacrifice? No, he didn't actually. So he's like, I want to win the pawn, right? So white is like, are you sure you're gonna win the pawn? Are you sure? What if I place knight c3? I'm gonna develop and I'm gonna develop and I'm gonna attack your pawn. I'm gonna defend my pawn. Sorry, right? So black is like, you know what? My sir has taught me that when there is a pin, when there is a pin, guys, complete my sentence. D Shark. Okay. May I know who D Shark is? Okay. Which is it, a student or is it a public person? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, PP on the PP. This is what my sir has taught me. Right. So, what do you mean by PP on the PP? Put pressure on the pin piece. So, what's the move here, guys? Come on. Make me proud. Your sir has taught you something. Whenever you see a pinned piece, you always have to think of first thing is how do you attack the pinned piece. So the move is N E4. Yes. Okay, that's what you meant, right? N E4. Yes, said by Manaswi and Lishan here. Okay, hi Lishan, how are you, man? Okay. So N E4, and now we are actually threatening to play knight takes C3 and bishop takes C3, right? So here the next move is pretty much forced. So what is the only move white has to play to defend this position? So forced moves are not so hard to calculate. So first moves are the moves which are kind of forced because they have no other choice, right? C into D4. I mean, it's white to play, right? So why not C into D4? Huh? C into D4 is, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad move. The thing is, C into D4, there is queen into D4, right? C into D4, queen into D4, and I don't see what do you achieve, kind of, right? If I'm not wrong. So, yeah, queen D3, only move. Yeah, no, queen D2 would be a little too sad, right? You gotta cry now if you play queen D2, right? That's gonna be too sad, right? It's a very common move, but yeah, sadly blunders the queen, right? And trust me, blundering the queen is not fun. I know that, you know that too. Everyone has blundered the queen, right? Queen d3, right? So in the openings, people are supposed to get the knight and bishop out, and the queen is supposed to be chilling with the king, and she always prepares herself in the middle game. But now the queen is like, what do I have to do here? Come on, you just got me out so soon, right? It's not kind of fun. Okay, anyways. So at this point, he plays the move c into d4. Okay, you might ask, what's the difference? The difference is we made him move again, right? Now he has to play queen into d4, and now there is a difference. Okay, so who can find the best move here? Why not c4? Oh yeah, c4 is, yeah. That's a good question. I think that's a good question. C4 attacks the queen. So where will he move the queen? Exactly. If he has to move the queen, he has to keep defense of this knight also, right? Um, I would think about queen e3, or no, not queen g3. So I think I can maintain the queen anywhere in this diagonal. If I go queen h1, maybe there is e5, right? Because of this discovery, you have to always look for discos. Queen g3 sadly loses, so I think either queen f3 or queen e3. I think c4 is decent move, okay. But let's look at again. Always first calculate forcing moves. So c4 is an attacking move. Always calculate. Yeah, queen d4. Well, guys, if you play bishop c5, you have to observe what can happen. What can white play if you play bishop c5? What is going to happen if you play the move bishop c5, guys? What's the problem here? Okay, everyone, bc5, bc5. Okay, all the bc5s in the chat. Tell me what's the problem here with the move bc5. Come on. Queen into g7. Right. So what's the best move here then? The queen into d4. Well, the best move is bc5. Wait, what? Is it? Is it bc5? Aren't we just losing a pawn here? Right? Yeah, so what? What's the big deal? Right? We take his pawn with the check. Right? Bishop into f2. The Freddy is already on fire. Right? The Freddy is already on fire. I place king e2. Sorry, king d1. Right? And now you guys observe that the rook is attacked. So naturally, anyone would be like, yeah, let's move the rook. Let's play rook f8. But otherwise, okay, n into c3 is an option, but n into c3 you have to be a little careful, Manasri, because n into c3 there is bishop into c3, and now both your rook and your queen is under attack, right? So it's a bit dangerous, right? Uh, Anyways, so that's one thing you have to calculate, you guys. So you guys will be shocked by the first brilliancy. I don't know. I don't think it's exactly a brilliancy. The right move is actually rook f8, right? Yeah, bd4 to an extent makes sense, but okay, the queen can capture. Alright, the move that is played, get ready guys, get ready. Okay, the move that's played is boom, d4. What's happening? Excuse me. Okay, you're attacking the knight. Wait, do you know who's someone who's stronger than the knight? The rook. Did you just forget that your rook is hanging? So this is what happens when you start chess at the age of 13. You need a bit more experience, huh? Okay. Okay, you just hung a rook. Okay, you just hung a rook. Looks crazy. Looks crazy. Okay. Now the king is under a check. So naturally, where will you move your king now? Ne4 is an option, actually. Okay, guys, very good question. Okay. What happens? Okay, I'll get to Ne4. Okay, I'll get to Ne4. Rajesh Pats. Who's Rajesh Pats? Hey, buddy. Welcome to the stream. So, queen into g7. Okay, queen into h8. Sorry. So, where will you move your king? King d7. Naturally, king d7 looks very much sense, right? But this guy decided to, I don't know in what kind of steroids this person was, right? This guy played the move king e7, and now we have the double exclamatory mark. This is a brilliancy, guys. Wait, how is it a brilliancy, sir? This should be a tomato ketchup. You shouldn't be putting double exclamatory marks here. You should be putting this here. Wasn't it supposed to be a blunder? It's supposed to be a tomato ketchup here. You're just blundering a bishop. But you've given him a brilliancy, sir. I think you've done a mistake. Well, let's find out, guys. Okay. So, king e7. So, queen takes, of course. Now, if you see the bishop is hanging. By the way, yeah. By the way, what happens if he plays knight takes e4? Anyways, if you guys noted that the knight is hanging. Anyone in the chat? Right? What happens if you play knight takes e4? I also thought this move wonderful. Well, thinking and playing a move is different, right? Okay, but still, if you really did, then congrats. You are one of a kind. If you really think. Well, of course, it was kind of a tricky question, right? Because I would have naturally said king d7, but I kind of stretched out the question. So everyone was thinking, oh, it shouldn't be king d7. Something is fishy, right? Queen e1, checkmate, boom, kaboom, right? It's gonna be sad to lose a game when you're up a rook, right? So you know what? It's not fun to fun to lose the game when you're up a rook. So white decided not to capture the knight. Okay, so let's see what's exactly the idea behind king e7. Okay, so here you might be thinking, no, Black is like kind of going nuts. Well, he is nuts, right? The thing is, this game actually teaches you something, okay, which I'm going to tell you guys later. Okay, it won't be proper appropriate to tell. So in this position now, if you see, white is, black is down a rook and he's down a bishop. So he's down like almost, it's like he's down literally a full queen, right? So let's see what's his point. Okay, so queen takes c8. So now the knight is hanging. You have to take with the pawn. Okay, if you take with the knight, then I think it would be leading to more exchanges, and exchanging when you're down material is not fun, right? It's really not fun, right? But I don't think this fellow understands that. This fellow is not even thinking about exchanging, he's sacrificing even more, right? So can we have a game of 3 minutes? Who is this man? This is a stream here, right? I cannot play games, buddy. Okay, so you take on c3, right? And now the bishop is under attack. But guess what? What else can you do? Let's see if you guys are tactically more sharper, right? What else do you guys observe here? Anyways, welcome to the stream, Isyol, right? But I'm so sorry, man. I really can't play, right? Because I'm in a stream here, right? So, what can white play here? Come on, let's see if you guys are more tactically sharp, right? This game is this. I mean, we really don't need to solve puzzles, guys, right? We really don't need to solve puzzles when we have this part of when we have this game, right? This game is titled The Man Who Sacrificed Everything. If you guys know one of the games of Adolf Anderson's, I have taken like this, right? Yeah. Queen takes b7. Of course, the answer from Lishan, Siddharth. C into b2. Okay, it's c into b2 makes sense, but it's actually white to play, right? So white can, if you notice the bishop is under attack, first thing is you would notice that this pawn is under fire. And why is it important to take this pawn? Because it's a fork, right? So let's look at what happens if you actually take, because this was not played in the game. So queen takes b7, uh, knight d7, logical move, right? Because you're getting a piece into the attack. And now queen takes 8, and now things look very smooth, right? Things look very smooth. But what happens after queen takes 8 is now you can take the bishop, and now if you see the rook is under attack, if you take the rook, it's going to be checkmate. And if you save the rook, guess what's going to happen? If you play rook b1, what's going to happen? d7. Yeah, knight d7. Okay, okay, cool. What's going to happen, guys? Checkmate. Boom. Queen d2. Yeah, queen d2. Queen c1. You can pick your mates. Up to you, right? Okay. So, in this position, if he wants, he can even take the knight. Right. If he wants even, that's also an option. But, so he might be like, okay, I'll take the knight. My queen is in the center, kind of like maybe my queen can play some defensive roles. But then Schlechter would be like, okay, I'll just take the bishop. I don't see any difference, man. I really don't find any difference. You can even give a check now. Makes sense. Actually, this check, actually, doesn't it look kind of good? Queen b6. Queen b6 kind of looks good, I guess. But, oh no, it doesn't. Because now if you take, oh, you have to waste a tempo to capture it. And then you capture the rook. Yeah, that's kind of bad. Right? Although that's an option too, I guess. But yeah, the situation doesn't change. You take here, you have this threat. Right? So for that very reason, right? Uh, he played the move bishop c1. Okay, so bishop c1 was played, and now queen takes b5, right? Okay, and also there's a good threat over here which we will talk. Now let's look at this particular position. You might see that white is winning. That's what you guys might think, right? But if you put this position to the engine, which I don't want to say, maybe like it's kind of a little bit favored towards black, and it's very hard to understand why, because the dude just sacrificed the rook with the check, and then he ended up sacrificing the bishop, right? Upon that, his king is so weak. His king is so weak. The queen is over here, right? But if you look at the position over here, like the white pieces, apart from this queen, who do you think the queen has to? Like the queen is like the lone one-man army or the one-woman army or whatever you guys can call it, right? He can't do anything over here. And these pieces are like getting old staying here. You know, they look like some museum pieces here, right? They're like questioning their existence, right? Yeah. So for that very reason, it's very hard to tell that is black better or if I mean is white really that better? Because even though he's up material, it doesn't seem to look like that, right? He's up material. Ah, he has a rook. Wow, congratulations, you have a rook, right? He has a bishop. Congratulations, you have a bishop, right? What are they doing in their lives? They know, right? What they're doing in their lives. Okay. So, anyways, so now here queen d5 is a threat. Queen d5 is literally a mate, right? So here black played the move bishop f4. Again, the same piece is being moved. It just seems like the one who's playing white, right? He has signed a pact with the bishop and the queen. Like, you know, he just loves these two pieces for some reason, right? That's how it looks like. Because all I can see is he's been moving this piece for like 100 times, right? Excuse me, sir. If you can keep the videos at 6:30. Okay. Till 6:30 or at 6:30? Okay. Black better. Can you keep the video at 6:30? No, I'm not so sure what you mean, Aiden. Okay. At 6:30. Um, I don't know. Maybe I can, but I'm pretty sure people are like comfortable with this timing. One day we'll have a poll at what time you guys really want the class, okay? Because not everyone are comfortable with every timings, right? Yeah. So we'll have a poll. Okay, sure, sure. I will really consider it, Aiden. Okay. So anyways, queen d5 is a threat, right? So here bishop f4 was played. You might think the bishop is doing some role to attack, but no. The bishop is just a problem here. He has to move the king, right? So again, he has to waste tempo moving this bishop, right? So that's the very reason, okay? And you know what's very funny is the engine recommends. Okay, this is something usually I didn't want to tell. The engine actually recommends to actually sacrifice the bishop. Like, you know, this bishop is like literally worthless, is what the engine is saying. The engine is telling the bishop that you love the most has to die because after you lose the bishop, maybe he should take the pawn and he should concentrate on development, is what he says. Okay, but that didn't again, of course, he's playing a human, right? Anyways, so can you guys guess what black could have played you? Queen d5 is not the move here because the king can escape and I don't see any good checks, right? Can you guys guess? If king c1 then queen b2, huh? That is if he plays, but I don't know, he can still escape through d1, right? Exactly. So let's see if you guys can find the next brilliant move here for white black. Let's black to play. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. Find the next brilliant move. Right? And let me give you guys a clue. The next brilliant move is not some natural move. Of course, this game has been totally anything but natural. Right? This is not a natural game you guys are looking at. I hope you guys are so sure. So don't tell me such natural moves. Okay, Queen B2 is a natural move. It attacks the rook. Right? Actually, honestly speaking, Aman, even I was thinking of Queen B2. Okay, Queen B2 looks very natural because you attack the rook. But I really don't think it's really worth moving the queen over here for that. Right? I think the queen is actually doing a fantastic job over here. Right? It's having some pressure over here. If you just play Queen B2, I think the rook is going to come to C1. Slowly, black's pieces will come around with the king. Right. It's a little high level to understand why is it so good or bad. Okay, but maybe if I was there, I would have really played Queen B2. I wouldn't lie. Right. Let's see if you guys can find it. Knight C6, very close, Rajesh. Very close there, buddy. Queen D5, natural. I told you it doesn't work. King C1. And you don't have any mates. Right. Queen D5 is actually, it's not a terrible move. Okay, but again, the move that's played is kind of crazy. Knight C6, close. Knight A6, close. Okay. 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 The move that's played is Knight d7. Yes, Manaswi. Aman, yes, found the answer. Knight d7. Whoa. Why is it such a brilliant move? I'm just developing a knight. How is it supposed to be brilliant? Right. What is so brilliant about that? I mean, my coach has taught me develop pieces so that I can attack. His king is weak. I have to get my pieces out. Right. But the rook is hanging, sir. So it is a brilliant move. Or it's a blunder. Right. It's either a brilliance or it's a blunder. Right. So this dude just sacrificed the rook, sacrificed the bishop, and for this guy the rooks are nothing. It's like he doesn't need the rooks to attack him. You can take my rook if you want. You can take my rook, right? You can really take my rook. That's what he's saying? Okay, and here the idea is to just deflect the queen. The queen is like he doesn't. If you see this queen is the only active piece apart from the bishop, right? He does not want the queen to be here in action. Okay, so he's by sacrificing the queen, he is luring the queen, right? Which he did. He played queen takes 8, so he's luring the queen to an inactive position, right? Now to do something like that requires a lot of heart, guys, a lot of guts, and also a lot of calculations, right? You guys are sacrificing like million points of material. You have to be goddamn sure that you're mating, right? So the next few moves, okay, let's see. Puzzle number, I don't know, whatever you guys can call it. Okay, so I think today we'll just do one game. Okay, I couldn't really find much good games about Carl Schlechter. Okay, so we might end up finishing the session a bit too early here. Okay, so let's see if you guys can find the next brilliancy move. If you guys can find the next brilliancy move, guys, you guys are tactically crazy, guys. You guys are tactically crazy. Okay, come on, let's show me that you guys are crazy, guys. Come on, not possible. 999. What is 999? Okay, I think I've heard. I know that 999 is a ping bird. Okay, anyways. Right, let's see if you guys can find the brilliancy here. The next brilliancy is insane. I mean, every move was an insane move, right? How much less insane? How much more insaner can it get? Right? Let's see, take your time. Puzzle time. So you see this position, the bishop is doing a role of cutting the king off. This pawn is doing this pawn is a wedgie here. Okay, I don't know if you guys know the meaning of a wedgie. Uh, it's like kind of restricting the king off the back rank. So it's like no, these are the only squares for you. Like you're not escaping, you're caged. This pawn is like the key to the cage right now, right? So if this pawn is gone, right, the key opens, the king runs away, right? So this pawn is like the hero right now, right? So keeping all this moves in factor, let's see, you need a like high level of pattern recognition for this if you have to find. Okay, it's kind of the engine says it's mate in 7, okay, but technically it's mate in 3, okay, because mate in 7 means like he has to sacrifice like queen d8 and all, and then bishop g5, which will like prolong the mate. It'll just prolong the mate. So, anyways, uh, it's black to play queen into e8. Queen into e8. I am not so sure of queen. You mean queen into e2? Possible, but I don't think you should be sacrificing more. I know this fellow is crazy, but I don't think he's that crazy, right? I mean, this dude here fought. I mean, he played against Emmanuel Lasker, right? So if he's sacrificing pieces, he has to be better sure that there has to be a reason. E5 to move the bishop. You mean attack the bishop? Really, I don't know if that's such a great. Okay, it's a tempo. E5. Hmm. E5 is not a bad move, I guess. E5, the thing is, I think he can play. Okay, he can't move anyway. He can like try to initiate some trades, right? Now it kind of forces some trades, I guess. I don't think bishop here is also such a great move. Okay, E5 is a candidate good move. NB6. Oh, okay. That's a forcing move. NB6, but NB6 just blunders the pawn. I mean, I know it shouldn't be shocking that this guy is sacrificing because all he's been doing is sacrificing, right? So okay, it's not NB6. The move that he played, okay, get ready guys. So if you guys remember, he sacrificed the rook, he sacrificed the bishop, he sacrificed the rook. So what's stopping him from sacrificing the bishop? Oh wait, it was not played. One second, one second, one second. I'm kind of missing the move here. Queen 8. Okay, first thing is he played Queen D5, my bad. Oh, I'm so sorry, I messed the move order. Okay. Queen D5 only move. Okay, now he played Bishop E3. Right, I kind of messed it up. So it's like you already sacked the rook, you sacked the bishop, so why not just sack the bishop again? Okay, bishop takes c3. So let's see if you guys can find the first mate in 3 now. Let's see. This time it's a puzzle here. Come on. It's black to play mate in 3. Okay. X. Okay. When you're saying X, it means capture. So you have to be a little bit specific on what you guys want me to capture. Right. Can you guys find that brilliant move? Okay, last brilliancy, guys. I promise you, this is the last brilliancy. Okay. This game is like even more crazier than Adolf Anderson's because I didn't really understand much of Adolf Anderson's sacrifice. Okay, if you guys don't know who's Adolf Anderson, I've also covered one of his video too. Okay, where he also sacked like 20 points of material, right? But this sack is kind of logical. Queen d2 almost, I don't know. Queen d2, bishop into d2. Ooh, e into d2. I don't know. But after king d7, oh wait, it could be tricky. No, it's not actually. Queen d2 does not work, Manasvi. Nf2, bishop into f2, queen d2, king b1, queen d1. Okay, Aiden, you're almost correct. Aiden got the answer. He got like 70, 90% of the answer. So the brilliant move is nf2, guys. Let's put a brilliancy. Well done, Aiden. nf2. So what's the idea here? nf2. Okay. The nf2 threat is queen d1. So, okay, you're threatening mate. So I just take off the knight. Okay, now no more mate for you. No more mate for you, for me. Are you sure? Don't you forget the key for the jail. This is the key to lock your king. Right. This pawn is not letting your king escape. This is a wedgie pawn. Did you forget about that? I kept this pawn over here long back. So queen d2. And after king b1, queen d1 is checkmate. Is what you think. It's not. So king is like, I go to a2. But then queen c2 is made. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right? Absolutely wonder. Look at the amount of these. Black just has a queen and a knight. Right? And one annoying pawn. Right? And then, okay, just look at these pieces. Oh my god. Like literally in the chess principles, people say, when I teach opening principles to students, it's like, how do I say? I tell students, you have to develop, you have to play in the center, right? E4, play the moves in the center of the board, develop your minor pieces, right? Knights and bishops, and develop your king side pieces so that next you can castle. But then it seems like this person has completely violated that, right? So I wish I was alive during that time. I would have surely taken him under my academy, right? After watching this game, right? So it's actually one of the greatest games ever, right? It's some artistic sacks. I'm not so sure if sacking the rook was the right move, right? I'm really not so sure, and lot of people might not understand the purpose of these type of sacrifices. Sir, I also sacrifice my game, but sacrifice pieces, right? But then some people don't understand the difference between sacrificing and blundering. Right, so that's a different question altogether. Sacrificing is different, blundering pieces is different, right? So, how did this fellow manage to pull off such a strong victory? Right, doesn't make any sense. Okay, even if he did mean to sacrifice, right? So, how do these sacrifices work? Right, that's a big thing for you guys to know. But all I can explain you is the logic behind these sacrifices is because first thing is white is like underdeveloped. He just developed his queen side bishop in a long diagonal. After that he wasted a tempo here. Black got the center, right? After that, like, okay, he opened the center. And okay, at this point, if you see, uh, his pieces are getting active, right? His pieces are getting active. And here, what Black is trying to say is like, it's a very important principle that you all should know. Okay, I don't know if it's a principle, it's a quote actually by Paul Murphy. What he says is, in chess, what matters is how many pieces are active. It doesn't matter if you're having more pieces than your opponent. What matters is how many pieces are active. I think I've told this principle like, I don't know, a gazillion times, I guess, literally. Uh, and you guys must have been tired, must be getting tired of hearing this, right? But if I keep telling this like 100 times, I hope you guys at least remember it, right? So this is what a lot of beginners make mistake is they do everything but develop, right? So if you're underdeveloped and if you go like grabbing pawns, you could end up in danger, right? Not always these type of attacks really work. Okay, so that's the reason he was like so confident. He's like, I really don't need these inactive pieces, right? All I need is these active pieces. These active pieces are like my gems, right? These active pieces are like my gems. These pieces are like worth anything. It's more than these, like, extra rooks. It's more than enough to take down this king, right? So that's all. It's all about peace activity, right? But I really don't advise you guys to sack like that until you guys have like mastered tactics or you guys are like very sure of the calculation. Or if you're sure that your opponent is pretty dumb, that's another option. If you're sure that your opponent is pretty dumb, then you guys can do it. Okay. So or else I would say don't try this at home. A disclaimer, right? So, with that very note, I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and I don't know how much if the sacrifices you guys understood. I tried my best to make this particular point very clear. Okay, but all in all, I hope it was instructive and you guys enjoyed it, right? And again, thank you so much for tuning in. My head is paining. Why? Okay, Nidvik, your head is paining, huh? Wow. Is it because of the session or like did you find his sacrifices head paining? Or did you guys I don't know. Anything. Hopefully it's the other one. Okay. Anyways. You loved it. Okay. I'm glad to know. Okay. By the way, before I leave, guys, I really wanted to, make one thing clear. Is it fine? Because see, I want an honest reply. Okay. Is it fine if I do like because I was doing what do you say, two games, right? Now I'm thinking like, what if we have like 30 to 40 minutes having only one game because I feel two games are more tiring, right? Two games could be a bit tiring. If I show you guys one good game, don't you think that would be good? Right. So my mom told that there's a match between night batch. Okay. May I know who D Shark is? Is it Kalp by the way? Because I don't know which account. I don't know any student named D Shark. Right. So when you come, right, you have to tell what's your name. Right. Yeah. It's at 7. It's at 7. Okay. By the way, night batch students, it's at 7. Anyways. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Bye, sir. What? One game. Wait. It's not at 7, right, Aman? So I want you guys to know. Okay. One game is good enough. How many of you guys say one game? Please let me know. Like, in the chat, sir, please take one game. I think your one game is good enough. Two games are tiring. Please tell me, guys. I'm really open to constructive criticisms. I wouldn't say criticism, maybe because it's tiring, right? How much ever interesting the game get, you guys have your own limits, right? One game. So shall we do it as one game, guys? So that's cool, right? Okay. So both are fine. Okay. I really appreciate that, Manasvi. Right. So, you're enjoying, you would like to learn more. Right. Yeah. Even I think one game is good enough. It's kind of a toll to make two games for me. I was actually initially advised to make two games. I think from now on, what we'll do is like we'll even add on some puzzle sessions, okay, to make things a bit spiced up, right? Also, I was thinking of something else is to like one day play a game also in chess.com. We can like talk and play, right? You guys know how streamers do it, right? I really want to do that once, guys. It's really going to be fun, right? Play a game. Anaga, okay. Hi, Anaga. Yeah, yeah. I sent the link, okay? Yeah. So one day like I'll play a game in chess.com and I'll be like a streamer. We'll discuss the moves and play, and gonna be like an educational speed run or something like that. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that's all I had to say. Yeah, and thank you so much for your time, guys. I hope you guys have a blast of a weekend. Okay. So we'll be seeing you guys soon in the next session. Okay. So stay tuned until then. Bye bye. See you. We're gonna sign off, guys. Love you all. Thank you. Okay. Gonna close the stream. Bye, guys.